Welcome to Switched on Pop. I am producer Reanna Cruz.
I'm songwriter Charlie Harding.
And I'm musicologist Nate Sloan.
All right, Charlie, Nate, we've made it to the end of 2025.
Woo!
It's been a year.
It's been one of the worst. Straight up.
Well, it depends what categories we're talking about.
All of them.
People have said, no. There has been good music.
Okay, yes. Music-wise, there's some good things, and I hope we can talk about them because, man, I need something to sort of cleanse my palate for this year.
Yeah, I think we got to stick musically here. In 2025, we had new albums from Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift.
That for the closing credits of Hamnet. Yeah. Weird choice, but, okay.
I think this supports your claim of it not being a totally great year, Nate, because we had a revival of the stomp-clap revival.
A stomp-clap revival.
I'm looking at you, Alex Warren.
Oh, you're taking me out of the ordinary. I want you laying me down.
Stop. Clap. Stop.
On the edge of your night, staying drunk on your vibe.
I don't want to like it, but I do. I'm sorry.
Weddings have never been the same.
I actually think it's a bop.
We had the surprise pop hit of the year coming from an animated Netflix movie, K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm talking about the trio Huntrix and their song Golden. Highs and lows, people. Highs and lows.
Talk about highs and lows. That song has just the biggest vocal range from the low to the high. Oh, I love it so much.
Ordinary and Golden, surprising connection, united by the rhythmic power of the 12/8 shuffle. Maybe that's one of the themes of 2025. But sorry, Reanna, please continue.
A lot of things happened musically this year, and not to pat ourselves on the back, right? But we've covered a lot of it here. And I'd like to take this episode as an opportunity to revisit the past 12 months in music, what happened, what we missed here on the show, and perhaps most importantly, I know everyone was waiting for this one, what we can check off our Switched on Pop bingo cards.
Oh, yes. Long awaited.
Oh, yeah. I know everybody was sitting there, blotter in hand, waiting to get into it. Fear not. We will be talking bingo. But first, I think it makes sense to start with an overview. I think each of us could give one thing that 2025 illuminated musically. Nate, what is your big takeaway from this year?
My big takeaway is that, like it or not, we are living in country. And if the idea that country is the most popular and dominant genre in the U.S. in 2025 doesn't upset you, maybe this will. The most important artist of the past year was Morgan Wallen.
I guess I'm the problem. And your meds never do no wrong. If I'm so awful, then why'd you stick around this long and there fits the whiskey?
Why might the name Morgan Wallen be triggering for some folks? Well, he's had a troubled history of racial politics. And as we just heard in this song, he kind of owns his reputation as a divisive figure in culture. If we want to account for country's popularity, certainly part of it is a larger rightward turn in our country. But at the same time, this genre has become more expansive and more complex than maybe at any other point in its history. So there's a lot happening here. But yeah, Morgan Wallen, you cannot deny his success this year. Just 24 hours before this recording, Billboard named him their top artist of 2025, the first male country artist to be named as such in 30 years.
Wow.
And they had some impressive stats. He had more Billboard Hot 100 charting songs than any other artist, 41 in total, and he had 9 reach the top 10. He's had a number of interesting collabs with folks like the aforementioned Tate McRae, Lil Durk, Post Malone. And as we've said on the pod before, I mean, whatever you feel about this artist, there's a formula here. So we're living in a country world, but also country means more things than it ever has. So that's an interesting development in 2025. And that's why it's my pick for one of the most notable things to happen.
I think that 2025 proves that millennials are having staying power. Whether they have any cultural credibility, I'm not sure. They do top the charts. Just look at the year-end top singles from Billboard. We've got Die With A Smile, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, Luther, Kendrick Lamar and SZA, A Bar Song, Shabuzi, Lose Control, Teddy Swims, He's a Millennial. So a lot of music has had staying power, we should say. I think probably the person that probably best represents that is Bruno Mars. It has been nearly a decade since Bruno put out 24 Karat Magic. He, of course, put out An Evening with Silk Sonic with Anderson .Paak back in 2021. But we haven't had a Bruno Mars solo album since 2016, and yet he has the top song of the year,
Wow.
Die With A Smile, with Lady Gaga. The song came out in August of 2024. It still topped Billboard's 2025 year-end list. And, of course, he has Apata as well with Rosé. And I'm looking forward to a new Bruno solo album because clearly he's still got what it takes. Can we hear a little bit of Apata?
Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now? Sleep tomorrow, but tonight go crazy. All you gotta do is just meet me at the
We have a generational crossover here with the artist Rosé from Blackpink. Rosé, born in 1997, is the cutoff year for Gen Z. And we also have a global collaboration, obviously, crossing over K-pop, American pop, soul. Why not? I love what he brings.
In that spirit, I think one of the most underrated tracks of the year was this little song he released entirely in Portuguese called Bonde do Brunão, which was just meant to tease his Brazil tour, but is like an indelible bop. Have you guys heard that?
I'm happy you both brought up the charts because my biggest takeaway folds into what the both of you have brought up. 2025 to me was the year the Billboard charts got stale. The most static year in recent memory on the Hot 100. So much so that Billboard literally had to change its rules in October to spice up the chart. Songs like Teddy Swims' Lose Control, which previously had spent 2 years on the Hot 100, are finally gone. We got some new blood in there. It's a welcome change. And of course, the chart still has a ton of issues, mainly stemming from how it charts streaming heavy music. And also the fact that they now become unusable every December due to the deluge of seasonal Christmas music. But nonetheless.
Hey, back off of Mariah. This is her world. She's here to claim it. She's the queen of Christmas.
Hey, I love Mariah as much as the next guy. Don't get me wrong. But I'm curious to see how the new Billboard rules play out once Last Christmas stops being every fourth song on the radio and we get some new blood on the Hot 100 come January. I think the charts have potential to be spiced up in the new year. And speaking of new blood, even though the three of us try our hardest to cover everything new and exciting in the pop music world, sometimes things do fall through the cracks. We aren't infallible curators here on Switched on Pop.
No.
So as this year comes to a close, I thought I'd open up the floor and give us the space to each evangelize one artist that missed the cut for a solo episode of Switched on Pop this year. Nate, I throw it to you. Why don't you take it away?
Rihanna, DJ Costanza, can you head over to the turntables and cue up a little bit of my favorite artist that we missed this year? Let's hear Man I Need by Olivia.
already gave you the time and the place, so don't be shy. Just come be the man I need. Tell me you got something to give. I want
Olivia Dean was born in 1999, so Charlie?
Gen Z.
Gen Z, yes.
Twin.
It's their future. It's not ours. Let's be clear.
And yet, what a classic throwback soul sound we're hearing. In some ways, I feel like the sound is connected to trends that we've talked about. Maybe not at the top of the charts, but maybe more in like the middle of the charts. That throwback soul sound that we've been hearing in artists like Raven Lenae and Amber Martin.
And oh, it's hard to say it, but I wish you were right here. Oh, it's hard to leave you when I get you everywhere. All this time I'm thinking we could never be a pair. Oh, no, I don't need you, but I miss you. Come here. And oh,
But Olivia Dean has had a level of success greater than those artists and kind of surprising as well. She didn't come out of nowhere exactly, but this year she emerged in a way that few people saw coming. Olivia Dean, British alumni of the Brit School, which is well known for its pedigree for producing especially female soul singers like, let's see, Amy Winehouse, Adele, Jessie J. Not too shabby of an alumni group to be a part of. And I feel like in some ways she carries on this tradition. Her music is very vocal forward. It's so much about how she performs and how she gives each word so much character and depth.
talk to me, talk to me.
She's an amazing performer, and this track has this kind of cool, steady propulsion that once it starts, you just kind of have to listen through to completion, and then you need to restart it and listen again and again and again. It's a little bit addictive. Part of that, I think, is the harmonic structure.
Nate, is that 12/8 groove that you were talking about?
Oh my goodness,
Whoa.
Charlie, there it is again. The 12/8 shuffle strikes back.
The year of the shuffle.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Add it up, you get 12. Yes, indeed, there it is. And not even what I was going to talk about, but I'm glad you noticed that. I was going to talk about the fact that this song, I believe, is in the key of D flat major, but we hardly ever hear a D flat major chord. Mostly, it just moves from D flat major in first inversion, so kind of a weak chord, to the 4 chord, the subdominant G flat major. That's what we hear throughout most of the song. This chord like high above the tonic. It feels like you're floating up in the air as you listen. And there's a moment where it comes down to earth a little bit in the pre-chorus.
Kinda wonder where you are. Already know I can leave it alone. You're on my mind. Already gave you the time and the place, so don't be shy. Just come be the man.
You get a little hint of the tonic chord there, but then we blow it by it right back to that 4 subdominant chord. Even if you don't understand what those labels mean, I think you experience that feeling of sort of like feeling weightless, kind of like you would when you're, meeting someone who seems right and you want it to work out. This is a song about communication, about trying to preserve that effervescent feeling of meeting just like the perfect someone. And it's kind of surprising to me, given what we've just been talking about, the dominance of country, the dominance of these, millennial mainstays, that this song would break through in this way. But I love it. And I'm excited to see what's next for Olivia Dean.
So we have the smooth stylings of Olivia Dean, courtesy of Nate. Charlie, who are you repping today?
Oh, I wouldn't do the thing where you say choose one thing and then I'm going to choose 3. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say that
Unbelievable.
Ray's Where Was My Husband is my favorite song of the year. I wouldn't say that my top album was Who's the Clown by Audrey Hobart. I don't need to because I'm interviewing her on Monday and we'll feature that later. But I will say that I think the artist that did not get their due on the pod, who has really had a special 2025, is the artist Dijon.
What a beautiful thing. I say, baby, what a beautiful thing.
Dijon has been making music for a minute. He has worked with Brockhampton. He co-produced one of my favorite songs, Pink Diamond by Charlie XCX. But he's been releasing music on his own with his debut album called Absolutely in 2021. And he has this sound that to me sounds like bedroom R&B. Now, so much R&B is music for the bedroom, but it's not about that. It's like if you take the feeling of bedroom pop, where it's like indie music made at home, it's a little lo-fi, it's not as polished around the edges. It has that homespun, made in your bedroom quality, and he is pulling from oftentimes sounds of really romantic sort of 80s R&B ballads, which are the most produced songs, and doing them in this very hybrid form that feels super contemporary. He is a collaborator with McGee, an alum of Nate's courses. He, this year, worked on Justin Bieber's Swag 1 and Swag 2. Dijon is featured on Justin Bieber's song Devotion. We should listen to that.
I'd rather take the long way home.
That's Dijon in the background.
We can laugh and sing a couple more songs. Stay up late and watch your favorite show.
He was also featured on one of my favorite albums of the year, Bon Iver's Sable Fable, and on the song Day One.
So I've caught what I can't take. I had taken all that I can take, and it got bad enough. I thought that I would leave. Well, I wish you could take that right.
Both of these songs also highlight the gospel influence in his work, the sort of community sing-along, sung at the absolute top of the dynamic range. We heard in the introduction of his work the track Baby. Dijon wrote the song about becoming a father. He's become a pop star in his mid-30s. What's up, Millennials? And I love this track because it documents the welcoming of his child into the world, first describing meeting his child's mother, their first date.
Had a laugh with your mother when on our first date. I said, I'm glad you came.
And ends with like literally the birthing scene of in the hospital. The doctor's like, your baby's coming. And he's like, the baby, my baby is here. What a beautiful thing, my baby. And the term baby shifts from a sort of romantic feeling to a feeling of just pure, unconditional love. It's a gorgeous thing. So that's Baby off of his sophomore album, Baby, from this year. He's having such a great year, and I think he is clearly making a kind of sound that we haven't heard in a minute. It's both this reclamation of that big 80s ballady thing, and it's also making it really approachable. And he's clearly a connoisseur of this sound. There's no better example than his song Yamaha, which is titled after the Yamaha DX7, which was the keyboard most popularized in the 1980s.
Oh, yeah.
He makes the electronic sounds of the overproduced 80s sound completely organic. Expect to hear a lot more from Dijon in 2026 and beyond.
All right. Both of y'all talked about smooth R&B-esque music with Olivia Dean and Dijon. I'm going to take it in a slightly different direction and talk about Latin music real quick. The dominant narratives in Latin music this year, we've mentioned on the show before. I'm talking Bad Bunny.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking Fuerza Regida. But there's a group that I've wanted to talk about on the show for a while now, and that's the Argentinian duo Catriel and Paco Amoroso. They're relatively new together. However, they've been making music separately for a while now, each having their own little vibe going. Here are each of their songs from 2021. This is Catriel's Shipia 2.
un principio es un lado.
Little funky vibe going. And here's Paco Amoroso's Viuda Negra.
Noche no se va a olvidar que vamos manejando de noche, como nos drogamos anoche, que despacio que amanece. Ya no
You gotta thread this needle between neo soul throwback and 90s house music. This is fun.
Oh, and I will. So they've operated separately, ushered in a new wave of urban music in Buenos Aires, where they're from. But as a duo, they've been the Latin music underdogs of 2025. They blew up from an incredible NPR Tiny Desk last October.
Para. Tatuaje en el cuello, sí. El pelo negro, sí. De silicona, sí. Se vieron anoche, sí. We've been fucking dancing, girl. Tú por la noche, yo por el
Incredible fusing here of pop, Latin music, hip hop, jazz, neo soul, everything under the sun we got.
It's fun.
And even though their debut album came out in 2024, the Tiny Desk propelled them to massive success in 2025, and they followed it up with the release of their EP Papota, which netted them 5 Latin Grammys, including a win in Best Pop Song for their track El Día del Amigo.
Tengo una puta te va a alejar de mí. Tú eres mi amigo, te quiero amigo. Tú eres mi amigo, te quiero y te odio. Tú eres mi amigo, estúpido. Tú eres mi amigo.
But the track that I want to talk about today won them the Latin Grammy for Best Alternative Song, and that's the track #Tetas.
Hashtag tetas, pectorales grandes, esa es la receta. Hashtag tetas, traigamos el back, hagan caso al chat. Hashtag tetas, pectorales grandes, esa es la receta. Hashtag tetas, traigamos el back, hagan caso al chat.
So Catriel and Paco Amoroso project like a heavily ironic image, but even within a song that could be as goofy as #Tetas, they're doing things musically that really are so addicting. Tetas basically has everything that I like about the duo in one package. So right from the get-go, we get a very tongue-in-cheek intro with this fake producer named Jimbaland, not Timbaland, Jimbaland, that is telling the duo what they need to do to become famous.
Para ampliar su audiencia, deberán inflar sus músculos, minar criptomonedas, usar palabras como glow up, vibe check y un hashtag. Jimbaland los convertirá en estrellas.
Voy a hacer un glow up, tú eres mi vibe check. Voy a besarte para que te pongas high tech. Mira mi cuerpo.
Bigger audience, muscles, sports cars, you know. Later, Paco Amoroso sings, I'm gonna do a glow up, you're my vibe check, look at my body, feel my Botox, etc., etc. It's all a bit. But it's over this funky bass line with these cool pianos that gives the track this bounce, right? And that's the formula. It's a track that's silly, but also musically advanced.
Solo serás tú, alguien. No puedes ser tú. Tienes que ser alguien que no seas tú. Y si quieres ser
And here we kind of get each of their voices, right? Paco's voice is much more gravelly. It hooks the ear, and Catriel's is smoother, and it gives a nice dynamic of contrast between the two of them. Each of them are musically distinct. Another thing I love about them is their ability to switch it up on a dime, and I think this track, #Tetas, contains a couple of satisfying musical shifts as we move into the chorus.
Un hashtag. Piensen en un hashtag. Eso, en un hashtag. ¿Cómo que hashtag? No sé, boludo. Decir tetas.
hashtag tetas. Pectorales grandes, esa es la receta. Hashtag
To tie it back to Dijon, I think I'm hearing a homage to the Yamaha DX7 in there.
Oh, the DX7.
Hell yeah, the E-piano, one sound.
So good.
Identified by Megan Lavengood as possibly the most important synthesizer sound of the 1980s. In 1986, it appeared on 40% of the Billboard Hot 100 songs. So, yeah.
Wow. I think it's funny using it on a song like this, where they're kind of reverse engineering this pop anthem. Like the bit is that they're creating the song that can appeal to everybody. And using the DX7 on a track like this is kind of like a winking nod to, I know this song can be successful because of the instruments I am using on it.
Well, which is funny because, yes, it would have been successful by the criteria of completely out of touch A&R in a certain way.
Exactly.
It's funny, like, basically, if you went back 3 years ago, the DX7 was still a really corny sound to use because it had been so overdone for so long. And now it kind of actually is cool again.
The A&R thing I think is funny too, because they have a short film to go with this EP, and the character of Jimbaland is sourcing these ideas from ChatGPT, so it makes sense. There's even a beautiful hooky key change that ushers us into the final chorus that has been in my head all year.
Let me be your child.
Is it crazy that I feel like this is as if 90s Max Martin worked with a Latin Kenny Loggins?
I could see that. I was going to say, it's like you mashed up kind of the last 30, 40 years of music in one song. We have the record scratches, there's the little ad-libs that they're doing that are very Britney Max Martin-esque, tetas, in the background. It's all really, really great. And it's supposed to be a super shallow pop song, but it pays off because it's such an earworm.
So fun.
I'm excited to see what Catriel and Paco Amoroso do in the new year. They have a new record coming out. They were recently featured on a Fred Again song. So I think they're going to blow up even more than they have this year. And I'll leave you on that note for the first half. That was some of our favorite music in 2025. You got to check out Dijon, Olivia Dean, and Catriel and Paco Amoroso. When we come back from break, I know you've all been waiting for this one, we'll check back in with our Switched on Pop bingo and see what boxes we could check off. All right, way back in January, the three of us put our heads together and established the inaugural Switched on Pop bingo, a way for us to make some outlandish pop predictions and for our listeners to vigilantly follow the charts so that we could check off some boxes. Since the year is over, I think it's time for us to finally revisit the cards. We've noted a couple boxes being checked off throughout the year, but I think this is an opportunity for us to let the people know what they're allowed to check off, and maybe they could submit it for a reward to be determined.
An internal sense of musical superiority, general good vibes, feeling like you love pop music. Is that the reward? This is not a, just be clear, this is not a sweepstakes.
No, you get a pat on the back.
Yeah, we legally need to say that because otherwise we'll get in trouble with the FCC. But yes, we will find some way to appropriately laud those who have completed BINGO. How do we want to do this, Reanna? Where do we want to go through the grid one by one? Do we want to kind of focus on some of the most exciting squares to have materialized in 2025?
Well, thankfully, we had a listener send us her very thorough review of the bingo card. I'll let her take it away.
Hey, Switched on Pop, it's Kate from London, huge fan of the show.
Hey, Kate.
I am a total nerd, and so thought it would be fun to do a recap of your 2025 bingo card predictions. Yes, this is how I spend my free time. So, you have Supergroup, Snowcaps came out this year, Crutchfield Sisters Assemble.
Nice.
Return of the music video, Taylor Swift released The Fate of Ophelia in actual cinemas, and it has over 150 million plays on YouTube. AI songs hitting number one, that Breaking Rust thing.
Yep.
The triple album. Well, I'm the Problem by Morgan Wallen clocked in at a huge 37 songs.
There he is again.
Over 1,000 songs have now joined the Billions Club on Spotify, and on the other hand, the Spotify boycott is definitely on. Steve's Lava Chicken hits potentially 3 bingo squares. Video game song, kinda. Brain Rot Pop, definitely. And sub 2-minute hit, definitely. It packs a lot in for 34 seconds. The return of the boy band. May I present the Saja Boys? And while we're on that subject, K-pop Demon Hunters also hits the bingo square for movie tie-in. 90s revival, well, I'm British, so of course it has to be the return of Oasis.
Yep.
Trance is also alive and well in 2025. The genre is everywhere, from FKA Twigs to Nina Geraci to Addison Rae. Legacy Bomb, you did an episode about it recently, but unfortunately this year it's Miley Cyrus's turn. And Beef continues to make hits, with Tate McRae's Tit for Tat hitting the top 5 on your Hot 100. By my count, that's 13 out of 24. Not bad at all.
Wow,
Thanks, bye.
goodness. Kate from the UK bringing the heat. That was amazing.
Pretty thorough. But let's recap. I want to start with the things that she mentioned that we could check off with total certainty.
Sure.
I think return to the music video. The videos for Taylor Swift's album Life of a Showgirl being in theaters is enough basis for me to count it. I think I presented that prediction, and I feel like it's safe to check off.
I would concur. Should we all say, what do we say when we all agree on a square? We say...
Bingo. No, we can't say bingo because that's not bingo.
We say...
Here.
Pop.
Pop.
It's popping.
Pop. It's pop.
Sweet.
Popping off.
Return to the music video. It's pop.
It's pop.
AI hits the charts. The country track that she mentioned, Walk by Walk by AI Project Breaking Rust, did hit number 1 on the Billboard Country Digital Song Sales chart.
You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my
I think that's enough to count. It's pop for me.
I'm sure we'll be talking much more about AI in 2026.
1,000 Songs did hit the Billion Streams Club. That was one of Charlie's predictions. It's pop.
It's pop.
Pop.
People are also boycotting Spotify, as we've talked about. That's pop as well.
Pop.
Pop.
And due to Steve's Lava Chicken, Kate's right. I think we could check off video game song. I think it's a loophole, but it fits.
La 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 lava. Chicken. Steve's lava chicken, yeah, tasty as hell.
Brain Rot Pop and sub 2-minute hit. It's pop to all of those.
I got 2 pops on this one. I'm 2 for 3 because I recall that Charlie was looking for the actual lyrics brain rot in a song. Is that right, Charlie? Or were you just thinking more generally about brain rot?
Hold on, I have to go back and fact check myself. I said, from the Bloodhound Gang to Baby Shark, novelty hits reflect their cultural moment. Internet culture's surreal humor hasn't had its defining song yet. That was my prediction.
Okay, I stand
in
corrected.
the blog post. So
it was more the concept of brain rot and Steve's lava chicken fits. So yeah, okay, I'm back. I'm pop. 3 pops.
3 pops for that. Saja Boys, the song Soda Pop from K-pop Demon Hunters, hits our boy band box.
You're all I can think of. Every drop I break up. You're my soda pop, my little soda pop.
It's pop there.
It's pop.
Not in the way I expected it, but yeah, pop, absolutely.
I think we could prep some predictions for 2026 based on the popularity of K-pop Demon Hunters. I know I'm pulling for more animated pop artists in the coming year, but nonetheless, massive movie tie-in as well from K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
It's pop.
Pop.
We got Huntrix, we got Saja Boys. Check that one off. And I think I'll throw 90s Revival in its pop as well.
Yeah.
I think Oasis had a really massive year with their reunion tour. And as the resident Gen Z, I did see Oasis everywhere. It was a phenomenon in my community. So I think I'll give 90s Revival and its pop.
Pop.
And of course, more lyrical beefs. We've talked about it on the show. Nate, you did an episode about Tate McRae's song Tit for Tat. And also Lily Allen's album, West End Girl, which is a different type of beef. But
Oh, yeah.
I would give the more lyrical beef section.
A Dwayne Reed bag full of beef.
Oh, yeah. That's certainly pop.
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 So the question is, here are the more dubious bingo cards that
okay.
Kate has brought up. The first thing Kate mentioned was our prediction for a supergroup to hit the top 40. Kate mentions the duo Snowcaps of Allison and Katie Crutchfeld. I think it's technically a supergroup, but we did say that a supergroup needs to hit the top 40. What do you guys think?
This is so. Is the supergroupness of it the 2 Crutchfield sisters together?
Yeah.
So they've never worked together before. They've worked together before. I'm pretty sure. At least I feel like they've been like co-writers before. Nevertheless, maybe that is not significant. I'm more concerned about like the ontology of the supergroup itself versus whether they were on the top 40. I guess regardless of whether we see Snowcaps as a supergroup, they're an awesome group.
Right.
The fact that they didn't hit the charts suggests that this is not pop.
Yeah, we didn't have a Silk Sonic moment,
Right,
and
right.
Yeah.
while I want to say that Huntrix is a supergroup because every one of the stars there is their own individual star, even though they're animated characters.
No, but
I don't.
They weren't. No one knew who EJ was. for
No,
instance,
I
before.
don't think we have a supergroup. No, I don't think that one is crossed off.
So that one's not pop. Next point of dubious contention. Is Morgan Wallen's I'm the Problem a triple album? So this was my prediction in the original bingo episode. I said 40 tracks or 3 discs. Kate makes a good point that I'm the Problem clocks in at 37.
Oh my
but
God.
do we throw people this bone? I don't know. I
This
said
one is
it,
okay. We've talked about this, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with I'm sorry. The problem is that Morgan Wallen previously put out the album Dangerous, which he said was a double album. And if you go to streaming sites, it's actually a double album. There's like a disc 1 and a disc 2. When you listen to I'm the Problem, that is a singular album on streaming sites. Yet, when you buy the vinyl, it requires 3 whole discs to fit all 37 tracks. So it is not a self-designated triple album, and yet it technically, by its physical media, is a triple album. So I don't know. What do you think?
I'm going pop on this one. 37 songs is so many songs. I mean, it is a staggering number of songs. It is
I
not
don't
quite
think we
40, but I mean it's too much music. It's gotta be pop.
I'm going to say it's pop
It's
just
pop.
because we can't count out physical media. I'm a big physical media connoisseur, and the fact that it takes 3 discs to hold all of this music, I think that's enough on its
Trip
own.
album. Yeah.
I'm willing to throw an It's Pop to the triple album.
Agreed.
Legacy Act Bum. Do we count Miley Cyrus?
It sucks to say because as we've discussed like a few times on the pod, we love that album, Something Beautiful.
Correct.
All the experimental sounds, the contributions from LA-based jazz musicians, the production work from folks like Jonathan Rado out of the indie world.
Tell me something beautiful, yeah, about this world.
But no, this thing did not perform as expected, especially coming on the heels of her hit Flowers, one of the kind of massive successes of the last 5 years. So unfortunately, I think it's a flop and thus a pop as well.
It's pop.
It's pop. And Kate didn't mention it in hers, but I wanted to ask you, no new genre sweeping the charts? I don't think people can check that one off. I think things have been pretty stagnant, as previously talked about.
There's definitely not a dominant sound that has happened. Like, I'm sure when we look back to 2025, we will be able to say, oh, this thing was happening, but it didn't take off. Nothing new took off.
So including no new genre, the other things that didn't pan out included the Spanish language #1 hit,
Shame.
Bad Bunny's Debí Tirar Más Fotos. The title track only managed to hit #2.
Debí tirar más fotos de cuando te tuve. Debí darte más besos y abrazo las veces que pude.
There was no,
So close.
maybe in 2026, there was no alien concept record. I thought that was an interesting prediction we had made.
I forgot about that.
As far as I know, there was no entry to the world of oligarch pop. Sorry, Charlie.
Oh, no, we had one. There was one.
Laura Trump, is that who you're thinking of?
Didn't Laura Trump put out a song?
She did.
I stand
sadly.
corrected.
Let's not even.
No Days
I don't
Off
wanna
with
talk
French
about it.
Montana.
Yeah.
All right, so that one's pop. You can check it off, sadly.
pop.
Even though I did enjoy Drake's collaboration record with Party Next Door, Some Sexy Songs for You, one of my favorite albums this year, regrettably, he did not go country in 2025.
No, shocking, but no.
And even though the Afro-pop song Shake It to the Max by Molly was one of my favorite tracks this year, it peaked at number 44 on Billboard.
And if you hear this song, then go and bend your back. Go and bend your knees, baby, shake it to the max. Will the DJ please turn up the bass to the max? Please just rewind, let me shake it to the max.
It did not make it into the top 5 on the Hot 100 as we predicted for Afro beats. So that's a not pop. There was no J-pop hit as well. Can't knock that off. And thankfully, no dead artist revival through AI, to my knowledge, at the very least.
For now.
On that note, I just saw that the country artist Lainey Wilson released Winter Wonderland, I think, or some Christmas song featuring Bing Crosby. But I don't think it's like an AI simulation of Bing Crosby. I think it's just literally like the original recording he did of said song layered in a duet with Lainey Wilson. So that's been done before, like Natalie Cole singing with Nat King Cole, for instance.
Yeah.
I don't think that is exactly what we're talking about. So at this point, not a pop for that.
Most upsettingly, though, I think we were all pulling for this one. Unfortunately, there were no kazoos on the Hot 100. I don't know. Maybe we weren't listening quite closely.
Someone's good. Dude, Dijon's going to whip out a kazoo in 2026 for sure.
That was my most ridiculous prediction.
I was pulling for it, though.
We're talking crosstown traffic. Like, there have been big kazoo moments. It should happen again.
Deep. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Can you name one other?
I'll be right back.
Is there like some Peter, Paul, and Mary business with a kazoo, perhaps? Or?
Would love something a little bit more contemporary.
Needs to come back around. That's what I'm talking about.
So we made 24 predictions altogether.
Correct.
Because there's a free square in the center of the bingo board, as we all know. And by Kate's incredibly diligent tally, right? We didn't deviate from her tally at all, right? Did we add anything to that?
Oligarch Pop.
Oligarch Park. So that puts us up to what, 14 out of 24 in terms of our predictions?
Hold up. I think we stayed at 13 because we didn't count the supergroup.
That is more than half, technically. We're batting above 50%. I mean, are we oracles of pop music? I don't know.
Not mad about it.
Not mad about it at all.
That was a fun exercise. I mean, it's wild to think back to January, how young we were. How much hope and optimism we still had. And now here we are, 12 months later, jaded husks of our former selves, slouching towards the end of the year, praying somehow things improve in 2026, and perhaps they will.
There's always next year.
I did not mean to end this on such a sour note. I forgot there was nothing else left, and that can't be the last thing we hear. Cara Delevingne is a co-writer on that Dijon song Yamaha. How about that? That's pretty funny.
That's pretty awesome.
I noticed that when I was looking it up when we were talking about it.
All right.
It's kind of random and fun.
There's some hope for the new year, which is that before we even get there, we get to do our favorite thing every year, which is review the ridiculous new holiday songs. That's going to be coming up.
That is going to be fun, yeah.
A little,
yeah.
A
Okay,
little
that does cheer me up a little
us.
bit, Charlie.
Yeah.
Okay, you did it. You put a smile on my face.
Reanna, I love this review that you've done for us, though. You have taken us through some really fun music, and it's brightened my year a little bit as well.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the retrospective, and based on what I've heard, the things entering my ears, I'm honestly, all things considered, quite excited about the direction pop music is going in. We've had a lot of legacy-type flops this year, but there were also some surprises that were previously not on my radar. And if this is any indication, I'm excited to be swept off my feet by the new underground pop sensations that will hit in 2026.